Okay, got some From news. Now, this news is sort of kind of old, but for those who've been living under a rock, allow your boy to explain. From has been greenlit. Season 4 and season 5 has been greenlit. So there is already a promise that we're gonna get 2 seasons of From, which is great news if you're a From fan. I'm a From fan. I've been enjoying From since I heard about it. I am thoroughly entertained by From. Not a single episode to me has been disappointing. Now, if you go to the message boards or if you go to social media, people were not happy with a few episodes of season 3, but I enjoyed season 3. But that's neither here nor there. I made the comment in a couple of videos ago. I feel like season 4 should be the final season of From. And the reason why I came to that conclusion is if you've been paying attention to season 3, a lot of the answers that we've been wondering and demanding and we've been having conspiracy meetings and possibilities and theories for the past 3 seasons, well, the past 2 seasons. If you've been paying attention to season 3, a lot of those questions have been answered. Well, a lot of the main storyline questions have been answered. Now, there have been storylines that are not considered the main catalyst of the main story that may have not been answered. And I think they are prolonging those answers for season 4. Therefore, you'll have enough material for not only for season 4, but for season 5. I do feel like season 4 and season 5 is just going to be really season 4. And they're just going to prolong, a lot of the questions of the smaller questions of the smaller storylines. But if you look at the main stories, we understand the purpose of Tabitha and Jade. We understand Julia's that she can time travel. We understand a lot of those scenarios. We understand now we have a main villain, someone that we can point and say that's the bad guy. All right, sort of like Negan. Like Negan, to me, I'm a huge Walking Dead fan, and I thought Walking Dead before Negan was dying down, was wearing off. I felt like a lot of people were getting ready to turn it off until they introduced Negan. And if you're a Walking Dead fan from the novels and comic books, Negan existed in that universe. And I felt like Negan prolonged The Walking Dead for at least 2 to 3 more seasons. So much so that now they done made these Walking Dead universes where they have these different series. They done separated all the main cast into their own shows. All right. I don't see that with From. I like the character development in From. I like the characters in From. I like the storylines, but I feel like the characters in From, they serve more of a purpose together than separated. If you understand where I'm following, versus The Walking Dead, when you look at those characters like Negan and all the other characters in the Walking Dead universe, you will understand why when they do their own spin-off series, they're more successful individually than together. Similar to like what the Fast and the Furious is planning on doing. They're going to, but to me, I feel like those characters in the Fast and Furious universe, I don't know if they can carry on their own TV series / movies, because I don't think any of those characters are memorable. Like, you want to know more about those characters. That's why it worked in the Walking Dead universe, and I don't see it working in the From universe, because all the cast and the characters are better together. As individuals, like if you spread them out and let them do their own series, it's not. They're not going to eclipse the success that they're having with From. Therefore, I feel like From season 4 should be the end of From. Now, I'm happy that we're getting 2 seasons. Don't get it twisted and confused. But I think they're going to prolong a lot of the other stories. They could create new stories from, now we know with Jade and Tabitha, they have been there before trying to save the children. They can prolong that story. But that story where we were trying to figure it out, put the pieces together, the faraway trees, the numbers in the bottles, the children, why they can see the children, we're trying to piece things together, and it prolonged us to have 2 seasons. Now we know why we got a lot of those questions thanks to Jim Matthews. The numbers in the bottles were musical notes, okay? And I talked about in a previous video how Jim was more the guy in the beginning trying to figure out a way to get out of this madness, per se. And he was trying to get the answers to the important questions. And then they all of a sudden funneled his responsibilities into Jade. And slowly but surely, you started noticing, if you've been really paying attention, how unimportant Jim was. Not only in season 1, he was very important. He was very he was instrumental in that. But in season 2, you started noticing they started, writing away from Jim Matthews, and and a lot of his responsibilities went to Jade. Jim was, trying to establish his relationship with not only his wife, but with his family. That was the catalyst, the main story of Jim. So now with we got the answers to the numbers, their musical notes. Jade and Tabitha has been trying to save the children. They have been in this town. They have been reincarnated, I guess, deja vu, whatever you want to call it. So now we know the purposes of those 2 individuals. And there's really and with Julia newfound power, if you want to call it power, of her time traveling, and she's trying to right the wrongs. And you saw that at the end of the last episode of season 3. And she's trying to fix the wrongs because she knows that her father is going to die in that moment, but she can't do anything. And she thought that she can go through there and try to explain, but she got there a little too late, and she just didn't have time to get him to understand. And then he went to his demise. And I gave you a scenario like the Flash movie, where the Flash could, go into time. He can see what's happening, but he can't undo what's going to happen, because what's going to happen is ultimately going to happen. Flash mother dies. His father's going to be accused of the murder, but he could change the right and wrong with the tomato can positioning up so when his father comes to pick up the tomato can, his face will be captured in the surveillance camera. And that was instrumental as far as him not being accused of his wife's death. I don't know if Julia is going to be able to have that nuance in her time traveling, where if she can move pieces here and there, move clues here and there. I don't know if she's able to do that. We will have to wait in season 4. You do realize that Julia is a teenager. The Flash is an adult. He's a scientist at heart. His IQ is going to be a little bit higher than Julia, but it took him a whole movie to figure it out. Maybe it'll take Julia a whole season to figure it out, or if she's even able to do it. I I don't think she's going to be, because she was in the diner and her brother was telling her, yeah, you're able to go into time, but you can't fix anything because what's done is done. You're able to go into the past chapters, but that's all you can do. I don't know what more she can do on that. But let's get back into this. I guess you can prolong that. And when she understands how it works, maybe in season 4, she can go into time and right the wrongs. Maybe saving her father from dying from the man in yellow. Maybe going further into time to get them not to go on the road trip. I just think, I don't know. So those, or maybe, because like Jade said in season 3, y'all was going to end up in this town one way or the other because the town was calling for Tabitha to come and return. Maybe Tabitha divorced Jim early and she just goes to the town by herself. That's a scenario. Well, we don't know. But theoretically, you can get this wrapped up in one season. All right. I'm happy to have 2 seasons. Don't get it twisted and confused. I would watch from season 4 and season 5, but theoretically you can get this wrapped up in one season. But it also, there's another issue at hand. After 2 seasons, then what's next for the From universe? Because I feel like the From universe is going to be at an all-time high. When season 5 is wrapped up and we watched every episode, that's going to be on an all-time high. So much of a demand. I think the fans are going to be asking and demanding that they should expand further in the From universe. Maybe another cast of characters, or maybe the popular characters are trapped yet again and they start it all over again. But I do believe there's going to be a huge demand for the From universe for 2 reasons. One, when you look at Hollywood, there are not a lot of original shows. Now, even though a lot of people say From is a spinoff from Lost, it's just a Lost clone, a duplicate, but it's a better duplicate. I watch Lost. From is way better than Lost, okay? And due to Hollywood not having a lot of great shows, you just simply can't end this great, fantastic show in 2 seasons. And that's it. I don't know if they're going to write something else with different characters. Maybe another mystery that's similar to From but not From, and maybe those From fans would gravitate to that. That's a possibility. But as well as this show has been written, and as well as a lot of the demand for this show, MGM Plus, which doesn't have a lot of huge hits on their platform, I forgot the Harlem show is I forgot the correct title of the show. That's a decent show, but I haven't watched it. I've heard Billy the Kid is a decent show as well, but it's obviously From is the home run hit, and maybe through pressure from MGM Plus, you don't have a lot of you don't have a lot of huge you don't have a lot of huge things on your platform. I'm pretty sure MGM Plus is saying to themselves, like, man, we got to keep this From thing on our platform as long as possible, because it's really the only show people are subscribing to just to go see it. It's the one show people are willing to spend $7 or $8. I forgot how much I spend a month, because I don't really pay attention to it. Let's just say hypothetically that people are spending $8 a month just to watch From, and that's it. Okay, so I just think as far as the From universe goes, right now it's not an urgency because at least MGM Plus knows that they know for certain they got 2 seasons and they got plenty of time to figure it out. Maybe in those 2 seasons, something new people are interested in. Now there's another show called Abyss Earth or something like that. I saw like 10 minutes of it when I was watching From. I'm not a huge fan of it. I probably will watch it over the summer when the season is completed. I just don't think that's my type of show. Through the previews and through what I read. But like I said, I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a whirl over the summer when there's nothing to watch. And be waiting on From. I could be watching that, waiting on From, and then when I'm done with the season, I'm entertained by From season 4. But nevertheless, I think right now MGM Plus is not in no urgency to, hey, we gotta find out. You guys gonna have to write something else because it's the only show everyone is gravitating to with MGM Plus. All right. But that's later on down the road. They got 2 years to figure that out. There's no urgency. Now, season 4. What are my expectations of season 4? And I explained it in a previous video. I feel like the main story, Tabitha and Jade, they're going to figure out a way to save the children if they're able to be saved. Julia, her time traveling abilities. Julia with the other 2 that were trapped in that basement. I think they're going to expand on that. Elijah, who got tortured by Sarah, that's going to be a story. I don't think it's going to be the main story. I think people want some closure in that story. Is Sarah going to be an anti-villain? What do the town think of her decision on that? Is she's going to be even a worse person? People are going to have a perspective of her really not trusting her. Donna and Acosta, that relationship, how that relationship is going to be, is it going to go for the better or for the worse? Acosta and Boyd in his situation, are they going to work together or not? So there's a lot of storylines in the universe, but they're going to have to make these, semi-mid stories into main stories, particularly if you're going to prolong this into another season. The power struggle between Acosta and Boyd, that can possibly be a main story. We have Mr. Smiley is back. That's obviously going to be a main story. The Man in Yellow is going to be a main story. It goes back to Negan, and I forgot the guy who plays Negan, and he's very talented, very skillful. He played Negan to perfection. I think he even put Negan. As far as Negan go, he just expanded Negan's universe, where he was super demanding. Everyone just was in awe of him. The Man in Yellow, I don't know the actor who plays him, and I don't know how much leeway the writers are going to give the Man in Yellow. But is the Man in Yellow going to be like the Negan of From? Is he going to be that instrumental? And who knows? He might expand this universe into even 2 more seasons. Okay, we already know we got season 4, season 5. if the Man in Yellow has a great performance, we may have a season 6 and a season 7. All right. So there's a lot of, storylines that are connected, major issues, and they're just passively connective on some issues. But I think of the to me, they could. I would love. Don't get it wrong. I want to see From, but if we gravitate to the stories that we know we have, you can really get these stories done in one season. Now, season 4, like I said, those are going to be the storylines. Julia is also going to be a storyline to try to save her father. That's a storyline as well. But if you've been following my videos, I've said that really, when you think about it, Jim Matthews serves no purpose in future episodes of From. There's no need to have him. All right, there's no purpose other than Julia trying to keep him alive, because he really doesn't serve a purpose with Jade and Tabitha. They got their own issues and stuff to deal with saving the children. He really has no issue with his son, because him and his son is connected like that. They have an understanding. His daughter, if you watch their relationship, it was up and it was down. It was understandable, but can you create a story off of that? Probably not. And you relieved a lot of his responsibilities in season 2. You gave a lot of his responsibilities to Jade and to other characters in the From universe. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know how that is going to expand. In other words, there's no real purpose for Jim Matthews. So, other than in name, and probably in when you have those memory episodes, or when Julia goes into time and tries to save him, you can, go through past footage of Jim to get that done. I'm pretty sure they'll have him on set for certain episodes where he's talking to his daughter. But I don't see anything else beyond that. But yeah, that's all I got for today. Guys, if you thoroughly are entertained, please leave a like button. The comment section is your guys' domain. I read everyone's messages. I may not read them on time, but I do read them. And I let you know I read them. But yeah, that's all I got. Guys, I will see you guys next week. Bye.